Good morning, everybody. My name is Guy Tilkin. I'm from the Landcommanderij Hovenwiesen. Next to me is René de Reinders from EPOS, the Flemish National Agency. And we're going to start this webinar on how do Erasmus rules and opportunities affect the organization of your international course. As you can see here, we have first the introduction, and then there will be part one of the presentation. And that part one deals with Erasmus Plus, with the key A1 action run by René de Reinders from EPOS. And here we are going to see the part of the applicant. So we look at the KA1 action from the point of view of the grant applicant, the organization applying for grants for their staff people to go to one of the courses. Then there will be the opportunity to ask a few questions, only a few, because we want to be a little bit interactive after that first part as well. But after the second part, there will be opportunity to ask a lot more questions. Second part, again, is the KA1 action, but now from the point of view of the course provider. So in what way does Erasmus Plus and do the new rules affect the actions of the course provider and the organization of the courses? And that will be run by myself, Guy Tilkin from Hovenwiesen. Okay, so now I will give the floor to René de Reinders from EPOS.
Hello, good morning everybody, and we are welcoming people from Austria, from Greece, Italy, Ireland, Poland, Lithuania, UK, Romania, the Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, Portugal, Slovenia and Belgium. So welcome, we are 14 countries to attend this webinar. Thanks for your interest already. Well, so we are going to deal with Erasmus Plus and explain the various activities that are possibilities that are there. First, there is key action 1, that's the mobility action, the learning mobility. Then key action 2, those are the strategic partnerships in the cooperation partnerships of projects. And then thirdly, there are the actions on policy. We as national agency, we have mainly to do with key action 1 and key action 2. And key action 3, there we'll do some promotion and information sessions for that. But here today we are dealing with staff mobility in key action 1. What is possible for the people working in adult education and or in school education? We can still speak of Grundfie or Comenius, but nowadays the Commission wants us to use the words fields far more. So non-formal and formal adult education within Erasmus Plus and school education within Erasmus Plus too. But still we can say it's Grundfie and Comenius. What are the possibilities for people working in those fields? What can they do for learning mobility in key action 1? There is first of all the professional development, of course. They want to improve their skills being a teacher or a head of school or in working in adult education. What can they do for their professional development? They can participate in a structured course or training event. A structured course, and that's something you all know because you have been course providers or you are course providers. So this means that they have an offer or you have an offer that those people can attend for, we said in the past, minimum 5 days. And they could attend a structured program, a full program that was developed beforehand and where people were told this is what you can expect from this course, what we are going to deliver, what kind of activities are in it, and what can you learn from that. Next to that, they can also attend a training event. What can that be? That can be a seminar or a workshop or a conference. That's also possible. And we say that non-formal learning is important too, so non-formal training events are possible as well. Next to that, those people can go on a job shadowing. This means that they can observe colleagues from abroad, people working in a relevant organization, so in a relevant institution where things happen that are useful for them to take home for their own organization, in their own training at school or in adult education. Next to that, they can do a teaching or training assignment in a partner organization or school. This means that they go and work there, do teach, do lots of activities in order to make people learn from that country in that school or in that adult education organization. All these activities should take a minimum of 2 days, can last a minimum of 2 days to 2 months, and 1 month is 30 days. So be careful, February is no longer a month in our jargon in Erasmus+. 2 days means it's excluded, that travel is also excluded. So if your course starts on Monday noon and it lasts till Tuesday noon, then your course is not eligible. So they cannot choose for such a course. So it should be 2 days minimum, and the traveling goes before those 2 days and after those 2 days. Those are the possibilities for staff mobility in Key Action 1 in Erasmus+. Who can participate? As I just said, so all people working in adult education, non-formal adult education, formal adult education, and in school education. So this action is only eligible for people working at schools when we talk about the field of school education and convenience. Who can they be? They can be teachers, trainers, educators, heads of school, administrative staff. All those people can participate. In adult education, we often see volunteers. Those volunteers, they are also eligible for Key Action 1 activities. But it means that the organization has to have a kind of contract stipulating what kind of work this person is doing with them. A very new thing for this Key Action 1, when we compare it to what we had in Socrates and in the Lifelong Learning Program, is the organizational approach of Key Action 1. What does this mean? This means that the individual learner can no longer apply at his or her national agency to attend a course or training event. It has to be the organization as such that applies. So the organization has to hand in the application at the national agency. This means that it will be far more a strategic approach. The organization has to say what aims it has by sending those people on a learning mobility abroad. Why do they want to go? And this will fit into a European development plan. This is something new in the application form, so the organization has to set up or to explain what kind of European development plan it has. What is this? I'll come back to that later, sorry. At first we'll explain that there is only one deadline. This is also a big change because in the past for IST, both in Comenius and GINCO, we had 3 deadlines per year. So now there's only one. And the application can be for a project for 1 year or for 2 years. When it's for 1 year, it will start on the 1st of July 2014 and it will last till the 30th of June 2015. When it is for 2 years, then it will last till the 30th of June 2016. The deadline for Key Action 1 applications is the 17th of March 2014. The sending organization can be a consortium when we speak about adult education. This means that there is a minimum of 3 adult education centers that form a consortium. They needn't be an official or a legal consortium as such, But let's say that they join forces and send in an application together. For schools, this is not possible. So each school is a separate sending organization, no consortium in school education. The receiving organization, so those where the learning mobility takes place, can be mentioned, can be clearly identified in the application form, but it's not necessary. If a school right now doesn't know where the courses are, for instance, then they cannot say where they are going or what organization will they go to for this course. So that's why there is a flexible approach. You need to identify all receiving organizations if they don't know at application stage. There is a coordinator that can be or will usually be the sending organization, of course. Now, the impact of our program, as maybe you have heard that we have in Erasmus Plus more funding. The program grew with 40%, so there's more money. But so we have to prove that this impact is really there. So if you get money from the program, then you have the beneficiaries have to prove that it was worthwhile getting that money. So the impact has to be proven. So the why question is very important in Erasmus Plus. So why do they want to go on the learning mobility? Why do they want to attend your course? And what will they do with it? What's the impact of it? That's why they have to write this European Development Plan. The key word in the whole guidelines on Erasmus Plus is modernization of education and training. Make it newer, make it adaptable to and adjust to the new needs that exist in society, in education. This European Development Plan, it's the policy plan based on the needs of the staff. So the organization will have to look where are the needs, what do our staff or personnel need, and so what will we be doing in the coming time in order to meet and to improve their skills. The organization will also have to tell the national agency how they are going to select the people that are going to attend the learning mobility, and how will they be prepared, how will they be followed up. And the important is the recognition of the learning outcomes. So if they come to your course, in what way can the learning outcomes, the things that they have learned and the skills they gain, how will they be recognized within the organization? And how will this be disseminated within the organization and preferably also to other organizations in the field of school education and or adult education? So the Commission wants us to move more and more towards an expression of what learning outcomes can be expected from courses. How can they be recognized? But what can people expect? What can be the outcomes of the course that they attend? And in that way, you as course providers can move more to starting or setting up learning agreements with the people coming to your course. So what does this contain? You have to have a detailed program, the tasks that they are going to fulfill, the things that they are going to do should be very clear. The knowledge that they will acquire should be expressed, as well as the skills and competencies that they are going to gain. And then there's also the monitoring, the follow-up, and the mentoring. And as course providers, you clearly can have a role there together with the sending organization. Evaluation, validation, recognition, that's also a very important aspect of the courses that people will be going to. Now you can see that these latter things, so the learning agreements and so, are not compulsory at the time now, but in the future they will be. And if you, as good course providers, take this into account, your course will get priority, I think, or will be more favored by people attending them. The finances of the beneficiaries applying for key action 1, they get unit costs. So the whole financing in Erasmus Plus is based on unit costs and on lump sums. So each organization that applied for learning mobility will get organizational costs. This is an amount of money per person. For instance, it can be €350 per person that they get for the organization. This means for the selection, for the preparation, the mentoring, and so on, for those who attend the learning mobility. Then there is money for the travel costs based on the distance. So we've got these bands. If they don't travel more than 100 kilometers one way, going to your venue where your course is, then they won't get anything. But from 100 kilometers on, they will get money. And so there are 4 distance bands. Then there's money for accommodation and subsistence. This is based on what the country has said. So each national agency could allocate an amount of money per country based on, there is a maximum that the Commission has given us, and we could give a certain percentage of that maximum amount. Then the beneficiaries will get, for course fees, they can pay a maximum of €70 per person. For course fees, and that's only possible for a course that lasts for 10 days. So 10 days and €70 per person per day. That's a lot less than that we used to have in the lifelong learning program. And then so all these are lump sums, unit costs, and then when people with special needs attend your course, they will get money that's based on real costs. So for instance, if a person needs a wheelchair to go along, then this will all be based on real costs. Now, if you want to draft your course and you want to see what kind of courses are needed, this is what the Commission says as objectives for the learning mobility. And I think it's important for you to take this into account as well. And so it's not only on the individual level that we are aiming for certain objectives, but also on the organization as such. Think of it, the impact of the money that beneficiaries get should be very, very clear. On the individual level, well, the Commission wants all people involved in and working in adult education and or school education, they should improve their competencies as a professional, better skills. They should be better at triggering modernization and internationalization in their educational organization. They should understand the links between formal, non-formal education, vocational training, and the labor market far better. Also, they should better understand social, linguistic, and cultural diversity and cope with that in their work. And they should be able to address better the needs of disadvantaged groups in their educational fields. For the organization, we want the organizations to become far more international. European dimension is very important to get that within the organization. Organizations should be innovative, and they should be offered to offer a more modern, dynamic, and professional environment. So these are the objectives of Key Action 1, and I've explained to you how the funding system will work from now on, and shortly also some aspects of what is different for you as course providers. Now I think we are going to look at some questions, if people have had questions.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we had the introduction, we had part one. So now it's time for questions. Please use your chat board and write a question if you like, and then we will try to answer the question. I have to make sure that we are able to read it. Did I understand it correctly that we as a sending organization can send freelance language trainers working for us as well, as long as they have a contract with us? So this question is about a sending organization. So this is not a question for a course provider.
And then, yes, you can indeed. So if it's a trainer, and you have a contract with them, at least that's our, I don't know where you are from, Olga, but normally you can check with your national agency, but we consider all people working in an organization that is dealing with adult education and or school education, they can send people on a course, yes.
Okay. Could you tell me more, please, about the European Development Plan is another question.
Well, I don't know exactly what you want to know about it. It's the policy, and it will be the key part in the application for key action 1. So it's the policy statement, so to say, of the organization involved or who wants to apply. They have to say what are the needs of the staff. Why do they want to do this learning mobility? What is the impact that they expect from going on this learning mobility? And how will they send the people, I mean, which people are they going to select? What's the profile of the people working in the organization? They need to know the names as such when applying, but the profile should be clear. And they also should say, how are they going to prepare? How is the organization itself going to prepare the people for their learning mobility, and how will they be followed up? So what will they do? And afterwards, after the people have come back, and how will they recognize the learning outcomes of what the person, the staff have learned during their learning mobility? I hope that this is clear. If you've got more, because your questions to me are rather vague, but I hope I clarified.
Then a question for how many days can somebody apply when a course starts Sunday afternoon and ends on Friday at 2 p.m.?
Well, travel days are excluded, so they should be traveling normally on.
They travel on Sunday and
they travel on Sunday afternoon, and the course starts on Monday morning, and it ends on Friday, and so they travel back on Saturday.
No, they travel back on Friday.
So then it's not a day. Okay, then we start on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's it. So that's 4 days. That's 4 days that you have a course, and the other days are traveling days, so not included.
What about the funding? Because that's another question. The €70, do they apply for the travel days or not?
No, they don't. No, they only, if you traveling days. Oh yes, you get money for traveling days. Yes, that's right. You get money for traveling days as a beneficiary, but so 1 day before and 1 day after the course.
So the answer to the question is you have officially a 4-day course. So that's a 4-day course, but the travel days for funding are included. So the participant will receive 6 times €70 as a participation fee.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Will it be easier for large organizations to receive funding than small organizations?
Sorry.
Will it be easier for large organizations to receive funding than for small organizations?
Oh, that's hard to say. No, as national agencies, we have to look at the quality of the applications. So it's not that when we have one big organization asking for 200 mobilities, which is possible, in theory. Then well, we have to look at the proportionality. So if it's a very good application, so and the policy, the European Development Plan is very clear, all the learning mobility, it's all excellent, then this project should be ranked as first, and then it is entitled to get the money that it needs. That's the way how we should look at the application. But I want to clarify again about this funding. It's not true that you get 70 euro per person when you travel. The 70 euros are only for the course provision. So if they have a course going on for 4 days, then it's money, the 70 euro, it's an entrance fee, it's a participation fee for the course providers.
Okay. Sorry.
But the subsistence and accommodation costs, they will continue then for 6 days. Okay, so if a course lasts 4 days, you can ask for this participation fee for 4 days, but the beneficiary will get money for the traveling days based on the subsistence and accommodation amount.
Okay.
I hope now that it's clear. Sorry to have mixed up things a little bit.
Yeah. There are so many questions still. I have here a question from Sabina. If I don't know at application state what my courses are exactly, how does the amount of grant is calculated? Because you have to know the country, or at least you have to inform in your application state the country where your course is going to take place, or where you are going to look for a course. And then the prices are calculated on the basis of those distances and based on the rates that are applied for that country.
Yeah, so it is vague in a way, that's true. But beneficiaries have to ask, they have to say, well, there was a good course in Germany, for instance, or in Austria, or whatever, and prove some way to the national agency that they know where the examples of good practice are, where the good courses are. And for instance, if they heard of a course being very good in Germany and later on this course is not on anymore, then they have to change the country. Then they might go for a similar course in another country, maybe in Portugal. But they have to see that they can do all their learning mobility within the funding that was allocated to them. For US course providers, I think it's quite necessary to inform people as soon as possible that you have a course on and where it's going to be.
Okay, we said we were going to take a limited number of questions. I suggest now to move on with the presentation, and we will take the other questions after the second part of the presentation.